Hey everybody, Trumper316 here. Once again, this is my Survivor Series review for last night, and I think this Survivor Series was pretty good overall. It wasn't the greatest pay-per-view, but it was pretty good. And I'm gonna run down the matches. I'm pretty sure you've seen other reviews, but hopefully you watched this one. First, it was Dolph Ziggler taking on John Morrison for the United States Championship. Surprisingly, this was a pretty good match. I didn't think Morrison had, that much. I didn't think Morrison had that much skill, I guess you can say, to keep up with Dolph Ziggler. But these two have had matches before, so it's not totally surprising. But the end result wasn't surprising at all. I said it. Everybody else knew it, that Dolph Ziggler would come out the United States champion. So, um, the match ended with Ziggler getting the pin over Morrison due to a zigzag. So it was great, but weird. I mean, everybody knew the result before the match even started because Morrison's been on a losing streak, and I don't know where this is going to take him in his career, but he's going down fast. So I don't know where this is going to go for Morrison. He may be the next one to be future endeavored. Who knows? But and then after the match, Ziggler talks about how great he is, and then the crowd in New York City was chanting Zack Ryder, 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 we want Ryder, and Ziggler's like he's not here and everything, but all of a sudden you hear woo woo woo, you know it, and then Zack Ryder comes out and him, Ziggler and Ryder get into a big altercation. Well, not a big altercation, but altercation nonetheless. And the end result of that was Ryder got over Ziggler with the zigzag and made a statement at Survivor Series, even though he wasn't even on the official card. So, I mean, he's building momentum to possibly getting a U.S. Championship match. So go vote for him on Twitter or whatever that crap is. Anyways, Beth Phoenix took on Eve in a lumberjill match for the Divas Championship. I probably will never say this again, but this was a really really good match because not because of the divas around the ring, the 2 3 divas around the ring, but uh just because of the overall quality of the match. Eve being a former Divas champion, who I've criticized many times, had a pretty good match with Beth Phoenix, and Beth Phoenix, she's Beth Phoenix. She's going to dominate no matter what. So it does, it's not even surprising to me, but the end result was Beth Phoenix got the win over Eve. Not a surprise. But what was a surprise was a top rope move by Beth Phoenix where she did the glam slam on the top rope to Eve. She like picked her up. Um, she got on the top rope, picked Eve up, and then just did the whole thing. And it was just an amazing sight. So I think the Divas match was really good in my opinion. I think it was really good. So I think maybe the Divas division is getting better, but we all know that's going to happen. So we all know that's not going to be true. So anyways, the next match was Team Orton versus Team Barrett. And, Team Orton consisted of Randy Orton, Sheamus, Mason Ryan, Sin Cara, and Kofi Kingston. And Team Barrett consisted of Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, uh, Jack Swagger, and Hunico. Now, I'm going to run down on some of the eliminations in the match. Not too long, but I'm going to just run down some of them. The first elimination of the match was Dolph Ziggler being RKO'd by Randy Orton. Sin Cara was eliminated not by anybody in the match, but because when him and Kofi Kingston was doing a aerial assault on Hunico and I believe it was Cody Rhodes or Dolph Ziggler. No, Cody Rhodes. Sorry. Uh, when that happened, Sin Cara, you can see if you go back and watch it, the replay, he hits the top rope with his right knee, and I guess he hyperextended it, and he he was eliminated from the match because of he couldn't wrestle. That was a real pain. They had to, well, they didn't stop the match, but they attended to him. So we don't know the full extent of Sin Cara's injuries again. But this is like the second time he's gotten injured this year. So I don't know what's going on with the WWE. If he's really getting injured, or he's just for storyline purposes or something. But this is starting to become a little bit repetitive. But who knows? Um, then Kofi Kingston was eliminated eventually. Swagger was eliminated. Um, and eventually it came down to uh, Randy Orton taking on Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett. Orton made a mistake, focused his attention on Rhodes too much, and he got wasteland by Wade Barrett. And Barrett and Cody Rhodes were the sole survivors in the Survivor Series elimination match. Overall, I think the match was good. It wasn't the best traditional Survivor Series elimination match, 'cause I've seen so many of them. But I'm not gonna sit up here and say it was the most horrible one, because I can remember in 2006 where you had the one with the Spirit Squad taking on Ric Flair, Ron Simmons, I believe it was Arn Anderson, uh, uh, Roddy Piper, and somebody else. So that's not the most embarrassing um, traditional Survivor Series tag team match I've seen, but it was okay. So I mean, I won't say it was the best. And then next we have the match that we didn't get to finish at Vengeance, which is the Big Show versus Mark Henry for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, before the match started, they had to reinforce the ring double time because of what happened at Vengeance, where you had the suplex heard around the world too, where Big Show got suplexed by Mark Henry off the top rope and collapsed the freaking ring. So this time they double enforced it, put some concrete blocks or something under there so that, nothing would happen this time. So, anyways, the match gets underway, and it was what the match was what we would expect from two big guys like this, just hammering each other, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No, I mean, just relentless, just not giving up. And there was a point where the Big Show was going to win the match, and he was going to win the world title. But due to a small, well, due to a big kick by Mark Henry to the Big Show's gonads, Big Show won off of a DQ. So Mark Henry is still the World Heavyweight Champion, and I must say, backtracking a little bit, Big Show did a elbow drop off the top rope, which was something I never thought I'd see from the Big Show, because every time he's went to the top rope, he's failed epically. So I don't know where the idea for that came from, but it was awesome. It shocked me. But anyways, after the match, Mark Henry decides to go get a chair to try to take out the Big Show, and he gets knocked out for his troubles. And then Big Show decides, you know what? Karma is something. Payback is a you know what. Payback is a bitch. Let's just say it. So the Big Show gives Mark Henry the Mark Henry treatment. Puts the chair on Mark Henry's leg and leg drops right onto Mark Henry's leg, and the chair snaps on. I mean, snaps his leg. Well, not snaps his leg, but crushes it inside. So, um, it was a very surprising match. Big Show got his revenge, and who knows where this is gonna go, whether Mark Henry is injured or not. But as we roll into TLC, who knows what can happen. Then it was CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. Now, initially, I said I didn't care who won in this match, but this match really surprised me. This is the match that we should have had a Hell in a Cell. But guess why that match didn't happen? Because a certain spotlight hogger, I'm gonna let you decide who that is. But a certain guy decided to stick his nose in it, even though at the time he was the champion. If they didn't let him win the title back, he would have, it would have been a one-on-one match between CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio. Now, this match of Survivor Series was really good. I mean, these two men have went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. CM Punk was getting the best of Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio was getting the best of CM Punk. And it was a very entertaining match. I think, in my personal opinion, it was the best match of the night. The two men just went back and forth, and overall, um, and the end result actually was CM Punk got the win over Alberto Del Rio, became the new WWE champion by ways of the Anaconda device. And Alberto Del Rio tapped out, and Del Rio is no longer the WWE champion. Now, I said this in my predictions video, if anyone happened to watch it. I didn't care who won because I'm a fan of Del Rio. I've been a fan of Del Rio since he first came in. I've been a fan of CM Punk for 6 years. Well, 6 years now. So, I didn't really care who won. I was going to support either guy, but CM Punk is the new WWE champion. So we'll see about the age of the best in the world again. The CM Punk era of WWE. We'll see that again, which will be pretty exciting. A lot of pipe bombs and everything going off. So it should be pretty cool. And then, never before, never again. The Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth taking on John Cena and the returning Brahma Bull, the People's Champion, the jabroni beating, pie eating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising, heart stopping, elbow dropping, People's Champ, The Rock. Now, when The Rock came out, that was a huge pop for The Rock. Everybody was not expecting to see The Rock look so fit, and he had his old wrestling gear on, probably some new gear, but with the Brahma Bull logo and stuff, and he was just completely like old days. And then another thing, he when the match started, it started to remind you of what happened, way back when, of his wrestling skills. He, did simple arm drags to the Miz, simple arm drags to R-Truth, was just punching Miz and Truth left and right, left and right. And every time he would do a move, the fans would chant, "You still got it." And he does. He's been gone 7 years amongst a lot of criticism, but he still had it. And then every time he would do something in the ring, he would look over at Cena and say, "This is how a man is supposed to wrestle. Not a man with just 5 moves. A guy that actually knows how to wrestle. This is how you wrestle." So, it was a good match. I won't say it was a great match. I must say the end result really surprised me. Well, not really surprised me, but surprised me overall because I thought that The Rock and Cena would lose because of their egos, because of the beef they have between each other. But the end result was The Rock and Cena won off of a people's elbow, which we haven't seen in what, 6 years, roughly 6 years. Well, he did 2005, so uh, roughly, eh, roughly, roughly 5 years, 6 years. But he got the win over him and Cena got the win over Miz and R-Truth. And after the match, The Rock was celebrating, and then somehow him and Cena got into a little face-to-face altercation, and we all knew what was going to happen there. Somebody was going to get hit. Somebody was going to fire the first shot on the road to WrestleMania. And it was the guy that I already knew would do it. The Rock. He rock bottomed Cena, and he did the right thing. He rock bottomed John Cena and sent a message. Now it's just a matter of time, and we're gonna wait and see at WrestleMania, April 1st, these two men, past versus present, clash. Cena versus Rock, one-on-one in the main event in Miami, Florida, WrestleMania 28. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Thank you for watching this review. Anybody that watched it, thank you very much. And I'll see you next month for TLC. Remember, I'm only doing this once a month. So I will see you next month for TLC. Hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be worth watching. See you later.